It's great to have you here. It's an exciting year for you. You just nominated for Best Actress in Juno, and
I know, who'd have thought? That was actually shot when I was a teenager and put on a shelf somewhere. And Michael Cera, who plays the young gentleman, took anti-aging pills for so that when he was interviewed about... Actually, Michael Cera from Arrested Development and Juno played my baby's son in a movie about Abby Hoffman years ago. I played Anita Hoffman, and my little son was a bespectacled Michael Cera. And look at him now.
Yeah.
They grow so fast.
Don't they? I wanted to talk about your stand-up career a little bit because I saw the Boston documentary that you showed up in, and that's where you got your start in that area. Looked like a pretty rough and tumble place with the audiences and the comics.
It's tough for everybody, but if you are a person like myself who's not a joke writer per se, but more of a rambler or a storyteller, and I don't mean that really necessarily in a good way, it's very hard. And I also at the time looked very young. I mean, I've caught up with myself, but when I was 19, I looked like I was in high school, and I was also big, kind of chunky, and a drinker. And so I was a chunky drinker, and so those things would make it harder.
Well, I think what would be so fearful to most people would be you get up there, the act isn't working, people either heckling or just not getting you, to think that you would go back and try it again. I think this is people's worst fear.
It's unexplainable. I don't get it either, because there's nothing but bombing for me. Oddly, the first time I did stand-up, it went very well. I don't even know why. I was a little bit drunk, but I was on my game somehow. And I had all the bullet points of what I wanted to say here, and every time I checked, the audience would laugh like that was a bit. And there's a comedy myth that says if you do really well your first time, even if you bomb after, it bodes well. It's a good sign. And I sure did. I tanked it time after time after time again. I don't know why I kept doing it. Youthful impetuosity, ignorance, whatever you want to call it. I certainly, as I got older, wouldn't have done that because it was so depressing. And I bomb now still. There's no guarantee that I'm going to do well at any point because I'm always just trying to say something that happened that day, or I always forget what I'm going to say, or I'm completely tangential. There's some nights where I'm really on my game and some nights where I just can't seem to click, you know what I mean? Like get a thought and catch a thought. But
so you're looking to write on stage every time you go up, or just...
Yeah, I don't do that as like, aren't I avant-garde and aren't I something? Your style chooses you. You don't choose I just don't have the discipline. Something feels like homework to me. I can't stand going through my notebook and picking out. It's a very immature thing. I cannot stand being like, oh, what am I going to say tonight? And I've been doing it so many years now, and I've always brought a notebook on stage. I've always forgotten what I was going to say. I've always tried to start with something new each night.
So for you, a hack is somebody who's trying to fit into the mode of what everybody thinks a comedian should be.
Well, in the 80s, there were so many hacks in the mid-90s because it became a very lucrative career option. So you had a lot of people who weren't doing it for passion. They were doing it because they saw it as a viable route to just getting famous. That was the only thing. They wanted a sitcom and they wanted to be looked at. There is a great deal of narcissism for anybody who goes into show business. How can there not be? You know, look at me, clap for me. Look, I have a microphone, pay for a ticket, look at me. So I agree everybody can be accused of narcissism, but at least I have the decency to have some self-loathing thrown in there, you know? I have the decency to hate myself 90% of the time.